Welcome to JGod Gaming. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the spawns for Valkyrie in Team Deathmatch, Domination, and Hardpoint. And then I will also have the Capture the Flag spawns up on the screen as well, which all can be found in the description below. I'll also be having the different timestamps so that you could skip ahead if you only play a specific mode or had questions about a specific mode spawns. So go ahead and check that out in the description below. So while the map's still loading up, hopefully you can help me out with this part, which is the video has a like goal of 75. So hopefully you can help me get up there. If you do enjoy the video, make sure you click that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you ring that bell, have the notifications on. And then make sure you leave a comment in the bottom. I've been noticing there's been a little bit of downtick in comments, but I pretty much haven't been asking for them in the videos. So if you can, I'd like to know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Please and thank you. So for the spawns, you can see them on the map in the top right corner. They're very limited just to these edges of the map, so the top right corner and the lower left corner, which make it very easy to trap your enemy team in a designated area. So as I played this map online, I was able to actually find the top spawns pretty easily, and I kind of just hid in the one room up there and just kind of picked people off as they came around by the truck, which you'll see demonstrated in this video with the bots. I use bots just for demonstration purposes again, so you can actually see that the spawns are working the way that I am talking about them working. Through trial and error, I was able to find out this is where you spawn. Obviously, when you get into different modes, the spawns do change quite a bit, so just keep in mind that when we go into the next mode and the mode after that, the spawns are slightly different. Especially on this map with the hardpoint, it does get kind of way more spawns, which is nice to see. But those spawns should just be incorporated in the map on a regular basis. So I'm just kind of navigating around the map. I got my recon plane already up, so I got an idea of where people are. So and I'm just gonna go ahead and call that in right now as soon as I get this next kill, and then pretty much just position myself so that I can take out these people coming around this truck side. So you can see, you can just peek out. They come on the other side of that truck, so since it blocks the view of them, they'll continually spawn in that back corner. So you can see they're either going to be pushing out through mid or they're going to be pushing out through this left side. So I continue to just hold down the area right here and just kind of position back and forth because I know they're going to keep popping out. Obviously they're bots, but when I did play with regular people, I was just in the building right behind me. Now that the spawns are starting to flip, I go and rotate back to the other side, and you'll experience the same thing. They all spawn from a same general area, and I could push through this right side here that you see me going through, and then pretty much I could pop out and take them off coming off a spawn and just kind of get him coming off this way. So the spawns are again very predictable on this map. They're very rigid. They're going to keep coming over here, and even though I'm in this area, I got enough of my teammates that they're probably not going to flip yet. So you can see that they pushed out through this building, and as soon as I go ahead and come over here, then they start spawning behind me again. So again, the spawns are very rigid. We'll probably skip on to the next part of Domination, but if you have any questions about TDM spawns in general or any questions about the video, make sure you leave that down in the comment section below. So when it comes to the Domination spawns, you can see that they're pretty similar. There is one or two different areas on the right hand side in that top corner where the spawns have been stretched to just a little bit, and then you could also see the different areas that you're supposed to cap, and that's pretty much kind of how this map plays. It's not too much different than what I was just talking about in Team Deathmatch, but I'll demonstrate some of those things. Don't forget to like the video if you're still watching and enjoying the content. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe and have those notifications on by ringing that bell. So I go ahead and start the map off, and I already know they're going to be pushing from that top right side. So what I do is I go ahead and push kind of through the middle, get this flag just so I can get the points, get me on my way to my recon plane, because you know the points are a little bit slower in Domination, and then I push around knowing that they're already at the B flag. So I come through, cut this area off, and pretty much you can actually got the two different windows. So if this teammate behind me is staying looking straight right there, I wouldn't have to worry about it. But you can see now they're only going to be pushing out of this top right corner, and there's a guy slipping around the right side to go for a flank. So I'll go ahead and turn around, take him out, and pretty much as long as you got the two flags, if you got either A and B or B and C, you can actually center your focus so that you can actually kind of cut off your enemy opponents from pushing too far. You don't really want a triple cap on this map just because the way you can position, you can pretty much just corner them off. If you do get a triple cap, you got to have a really good team together to make sure that you don't flip the spawns, because you already have them corralled in this area. If you push a little too much deeper, then you're going to go ahead and cut off the spawn. You can see right now I'm standing kind of in one of those spawn zones, and they just keep coming out. They'll just keep coming out, and as long as I keep doing this, they'll keep coming out of that area. The team didn't do a good job of countering them in that corner, but pretty much that's what you can do in Domination. If you happen to spawn over by the top right side from the beginning, or you're pushing from that side, you can do the same thing on the opposite. If you just get the C flag and the B flag, you can kind of center the enemy team. There might be a random spawn as a result if you push too far, so that's really why you want to stay on the outside of this spawn area, just so they can continue to spawn in that corner. So you can see, even though my team is kind of pushing right at C, capping C, the enemy team keeps pushing through this corner side and spawning on this corner side. We might have pushed a little too deep. It looks like one of them snuck all the way around, or the spawns flipped. So you can see now I'm pushing over to the other side, take out this guy, and then pretty much continue to push, because now we're starting to lose that objective, and the enemy team keeps spawning on this other side. So I push forward a little bit closer, we take them out pretty quickly, and then the spawns proceed to start flipping again. So that's pretty much the method. Obviously this is a triple cap. Typically I don't really recommend triple cap. I recommend just the 2 and hold the people off, because then you got better control. If you want the map plan real quick and you got a really good coordinated team, triple capping's fine, but typically as soon as you go for that triple cap, the spawns flip and then they take over the other cap, so it's still like your double cap. So keep that in mind. We'll go ahead and move on to Hardpoint. Again, while that's loading up, just a friendly reminder, make sure you click that like button down at the bottom of the screen there, and then go ahead and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and have them notifications on by ringing that bell. So with the different Hardpoint locations, you can see there's tons more spawns. There's tons of spawns. So as the spawn point rotates with the actual Hardpoint, you'll kind of see those happen as we kind of play through. So right now it's at mid. As the time progresses, I know they're coming from this back corner because that's kind of the standard spawn. But as the Hardpoint is going to begin to rotate, you're going to see some of the changes to the spawns of direction of where enemies are coming from. So typically the spawns are always going to be opposite of each other. So for example, at the start of the match for Hardpoint 1, spawns are the bottom left and then the top right. But when the Hardpoint rotates to maybe a different point, you're going to have different spawn points that are opposite of each other, that are pretty close in distance as far as how far you got to walk for this map. So if you're looking at the map right now, you probably won't actually see a difference until we get to a Hardpoint 3 or Hardpoint 4, just because they want to make it so that the enemy team or the team that's not in the Hardpoint has an equal chance to get to the Hardpoint based off the way it's designed. So this one, it still looks like bottom left, top right corner for the spawns. So pretty much that's the way this Hardpoint holds out. Nothing crazy there, and then we just gotta wait for it to rotate and pretty much see where the change happens there. It looks like spawns flipped a little bit now that they're coming from the bottom left spawns and pushing through that direction. It just depends on how the map's playing. So right now we have so many teammates in the Hardpoint, the spawns are coming from that bottom left and probably bottom mid. So when you play the map, you have to be aware of where the spawns are, where the spawn rotations are going to be, where the next rotation is going to be, so you could better prepare for it. A lot of times when I play the actual game, I actually pull up the maps on my screen. Like I said, those are available to just click on, and you can download them to your phone or your computer. So right now I'm rotating to the next Hardpoint. They're still spawning bottom left, but my teammate will probably start spawning bottom right. Just so that we have an equal push. Once everyone dies out or makes it to the center, that's pretty much where the push will be coming from, either this bottom left or bottom right. Not too much pushing from mid. So that's probably a good opportunity if you want to flank around. Since the majority of everyone's going to be pushing through the right and the left, you can actually come from the top side from Hardpoint 1 and cut down to Hardpoint 3. So you can see that demonstrated. They are pushing a little bit through mid, but it looks like they went straight through and then cut down. So, but they're spawning still left side. They still have a straggler up top. May have spawned up there, may have just walked around that way. But for the most part, you can see the spawns are coming from the left and the right side. Where my teammates positioned, they might have forced the spawn to go top right, and that's why they're straggling to come down here. So the spawns do move a little bit. Like I said, they're not 100% fixed, that they're only going to spawn from this location or that location. But you can see pretty straightforward that they're spawning top right. So now they got the next Hardpoint, and this Hardpoint, where we should get these bottom left spawns. More than likely, and they're going to either get that mid right spawn or top right spawn. So the left spawns are probably the more ideal for this situation, just because you got to walk a lot farther if you're coming from the right side. They could potentially come down at the bottom too, where Hardpoint 3 is, It's just a matter of knowing the map and kind of filling out where your teammates are, because a lot of times it's going to be dictated where you're at, where your teammates are at, and then where the hard point's at, not necessarily where the enemy team's at. So they want to make sure that they're spawning people in safe spawn locations. The only way they can do that is if there's really none of your teammates around. So if your teammates are too deep in the spawn, they're probably going to ruin the spawn there. So while that continues to roll in the background, I'm going to switch over to capture the flag spawn points just on the screen. I don't want to do a whole map of that one because it's pretty straightforward. There are pretty similar spawns to what we've seen so far. Top right corner, bottom left corner, nothing new there. And then there's these little routes right in the middle where it's going to spawn you. Right in the bottom mid and then top mid. So I think those ones are more just to prevent spawn trapping, because as soon as you trap, they'll spawn in the other area. But I'm sure people are smart enough to figure out how to stop that. So it's just a matter of playing the map. Hopefully you enjoyed the spawn guide. Again, the like goal is 75, so if you can help me out with that, go ahead and smash that like button. If you can't right now, please, thank you. And then also go ahead and subscribe. If you're still watching, you probably enjoy this type of content, and you probably want to stay up to date with my new videos, so make sure you ring that bell, keep the notifications on. Support's still been great, channel's still been growing. Thank you all so much. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.